Okay, so I'm gonna try to do my videos this way. Work with me, I'm doing the best I can. So here's our data table. This is going to be our X value, also known as the independent value. Here's our Y values, also known as our dependent variables. You can always tell what dependent variables are because they're the things that are being measured. So in this case, it was temperature. Our title for this is temp of a solution while heating. And what this is really telling us is that at this time point, this is what the temperature was. So at 0 seconds, we were at 22 degrees Celsius. Now, we always like to put our independent variable here, but I also gave you guys that trick that usually we're going to put time, anything related to time on the x-axis. You do want to make sure that you include any units of measurement. So for time, it's going to be seconds. We're going to just ignore the bell music, and we're going to label time in seconds at the bottom. Now for our y-axis, we're going to label it to temp in Celsius degrees. Okay, so now we need to give ourselves a title. You can use this title, or you can just do a little time versus temp. So we have our title and we have our labels. It's always going to be your first step. Now we're going to go ahead and do our scale. To do our scale, I'm so sorry, guys. I picked a really bad time to do this. There we go. Okay. So we'll do our y-axis scale first. To do this, we first are going to identify our largest number. So it looks like our largest number is 100. Then you would count how many lines you have going up. So starting here, because this is going to be our 0 going both up on our y-axis and to the side on the x. So starting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we have 18 lines, and we have to get to at least 100. A way to find an even scale that's going to fit as much of the graph is to take 100 and divide it by 18. If we did that, we would get 5.5. 5.5 is not our easiest number to go up by. So oftentimes we like to round up, and you can round up to an easier number. Just make sure you're rounding up. So we're going to go ahead and round up to 6. So this means each line is worth 6. So we did 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48. And if this is something you get confused by, you can totally have your phone out and just start adding 6 to every number so you don't get lost. 54, 60, 66, 72, 78, 84, 90, 96, 102, 108. So we definitely can fit our highest variable. So we're good on that side. Now for time, there's a couple different ways you can do this. Because these are even increments, you could do the spacing method and just find how many spaces. Or you can do the same method that we did with our y-axis. And that's what I'm going to go ahead and do, just because that is going to give us our best fit. So our highest number is going to be 180. And again, we start counting our lines across this time because we're dealing with the x-axis. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we're going to take our highest number 180, and we're going to divide it by 20. 180 divided by 20 is going to give us 9. So that means each line can represent 9, and we would perfectly fit our data. So this line is 0. This one's going to be 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90, 99, 108, 108 plus 9 is, my head's not working, 117. And you're going to continue on this way, okay? Now, when it gets time to plotting your numbers, remember these X and Y units, they're going to be pairs. We call them plots. So 0, 22, we're really plotting this. 0 is our x-axis value, 22 is our y-axis value. So first, we're going to find 0 on the x-axis. 0 is going to be on this first line. 22, we're going to look up here. Here we have 18, 24. 22 is going to be a little bit closer to 24. Here, 0, we're actually on this line, so I'm going to go ahead and do my dot. I like to check off to say I'm done with that one. And now I have 30 and 35. I'm going to go ahead and find 30, where 30 would be on here. So if this is 27, this is 36, I'm going to say 30 would be about here. Now my next number is 35 on the y-axis. 35 would be right under this variable, 36. So I'm going to bring up and figure out where these two would meet, and that's where I'm going to draw my line. And I go ahead and give it a check. And then I have at 60 seconds, we had 48 degrees Celsius. So 60, 48. 60 on here is going to be right here. And 48 is going to be right here. We're right on the line. So then I'm going to find where these two meet. And I would go ahead and draw that line. Or that dot, sorry. And you're going to continue. Now, once you're done with all of these plots, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You get to go do the fun part, and you get to connect your lines. Now, it's really incredibly important, though, that you guys have title, labels, a scale that goes up in even increments. You can't just put these numbers on the side. You have to always make sure you have a scale that is increasing the same amount for each line.